It's a good thing I saw this movie at night when everything's winding down. That way, when I watched it, things wouldn't be too noisy. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a brand new Hulu release called The Ultimate Playlist of Noise. Let me know in the comments before we begin what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, if you were excited for it, if you weren't planning on seeing it, if you've been liking a lot of the films Hulu's been putting out. Let me know in the comments so we can discuss. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my channel out there and growing this community. And if you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But now let's not waste any more time and let's talk about The Ultimate Playlist of Noise. This stars Keene Johnson as Marcus, an audio-obsessed high school senior who learns he must undergo brain surgery that will render him deaf, and he decides to seize control of his fate by recording the ultimate playlist of noise. This is directed by Bennett Lasseter, son of John Lasseter, making his feature directorial debut. And this is also the first original film of the year released on Hulu. And it's another young adult drama in the vein of movies like The Fault in Our Stars, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Words on Bathroom Walls. Now, those movies I did enjoy, though we've gotten countless of these films that follow very similar beats and end up going through this very predictable formula. The way this film distinguishes itself from most of those other movies, though, is that it's actually not based on a novel. Nearly all of these movies are based on some sort of pre-existing source material, and this isn't. I know it's not the first to have that distinction, but it feels rare these days. What I will say, though, is if you've seen the film Sound of Metal from last year, which is an excellent movie, by the way, and that also dealt with the subject of someone who loves music, that also has to deal with going deaf, think that, but reimagined as one of these young adult dramas. In terms of dramatic beats, it's pretty much everything you'd expect it to be. It checks off all the usual tropes. It has sappy music, narration by our lead character, a tragic event that sets everything into motion, a lesson about accepting who you are. In a way, if you've seen one of these movies, you've seen them all by this point, because there aren't too many surprises here. That all being said, it's still not bad, to be totally clear. I actually thought this was alright for what it was. It's certainly very well-meaning and has a lot of sincerity to it, and it does incorporate some of that same messaging that Sound of Metal has, which is still being able to find your inner peace and trying to find some way you can still leave your impact on the world through something you love, despite something being taken away from you. And that's what Marcus is looking to accomplish through creating the playlist in question. So I'm sure a lot of people may be able to relate to this, and if you are able to, I think maybe this will resonate with you even more so and enhance the experience. Especially as it does have this very warm feel to it to begin with, and it does want you to feel good and be able to find a way to be strong in the face of something horrible. And it's anchored by two solid performances. Keene Johnson is a very charismatic lead. I've only seen him in one other film before, which was Alita: Battle Angel, and he only had a supporting role there. So this is the first time I'm seeing him front and center. But I thought he gracefully handled the subject matter here. His character is written very similarly to a lot of these other inspirational, quick-witted leads in these other young adult films who can charm his way out of nearly anything and win people over with ease. But it's still a good performance. I do look forward to see what else he can do, so hopefully he can expand his range. But the real standout for me is Madeleine Brewer, who plays Wendy, a young woman Marcus meets when he's on his way to New York, and he spends most of his time with her as he's trying to get his hands on an audio recording from his deceased brother at a studio where he once performed. And I thought Madeleine Brewer was excellent here. I think she's a severely underrated talent. If you haven't seen the Netflix film Cam, which she starred in a couple of years ago, please go see it. That's a true testament of her talent right there, and she once again gives a wonderful performance here. Whereas Johnson's the more reserved of our two leads, she's the one who gives this larger-than-life performance. She's very outgoing, spontaneous, and expressive, and she pushes him to do as much as possible. It makes for a very sweet dynamic, and I thought she absolutely stole the show. And we do get to explore a little bit about her own character as well, which I actually thought was conveyed pretty naturally, as we find out how she's escaping this bad relationship, and she's trying to start over, and the way in which we find out about what's going on with her, such as when her ex-boyfriend leaves a nasty voicemail and we see her listening to it in private, was really well done. And what I also appreciate about this is, as expected, there is a bit of a romance that develops between our two leads, and you can see it coming from like a mile away, but what I liked is The romance isn't actually the centerpiece of this film. This is more about their individual journeys and how both of them grow from their time together. And the romance is just one small snapshot of this bigger picture. I'm not saying it does anything too out of the ordinary here, as far as that goes, to be perfectly clear. All I'm saying is the amount of time it focuses on the romance compared to everything else going on in the film is a lot smaller than I was expecting it to be. So while this film will feel very familiar in general, that was a nice small break from what similar movies do. This isn't exactly the most original film in terms of dramatic beats. You can tell where most of it goes from a mile away, but it's actually not bad for what it is. It's a sweet movie that has a nice message about trying to find some way to leave your impact on the world as you lose something that means a lot to you, and it has two nice performances from Keane Johnson and Madeleine Brewer that carry this whole thing. While it plays things relatively safe, and I wish it took some more risks, it means well, and I'm sure there will be those who will be able to relate heavily to its message. The Ultimate Playlist of Noise gets a 6.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see the Ultimate Playlist of Noise, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you like the story? Do you enjoy these young adult romantic dramas? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.